And now for something completely goat versus fish. Are you goat or are you fish? Monty Python, goat versus fish awaits your verses. Do you be goat or a fish? Don't say it on the fan! Monty Python has clearly taken inspiration from goat versus fish. Yes, applaud goat versus fish. Monty Python has clearly taken inspiration from goat versus fish. A fish called Wanda. John Cheese's wife is affectionately... Wait, which wife was that? John Cheese's wife is affectionately referred to as fish, There's a lot of fish, and there's a lot of goat, and there's a lot of goat versus fish, and we can see a lot of goat versus fish in Monty Python. Monty Python so clearly inspired by goat versus fish. We've got goat. We've got fish. We've got the fish slapping dance. So maybe it's mostly fish. Maybe it's mostly fish that inspired Monty Python. But oh, there's goat too. There's goat. We think in the first verses there was exploding sheep. There was exploding sheep on the chalkboard. Clearly derived and stolen from goat versus fish. Goat versus fish has been exploding goat on the chalkboard of goat versus fish since the beginning of goat versus fish. And then you have your little Monty Python's flying fences and there's the fish. And never once has Minty Python answered, are you goat or are you fish? Double the verses, double the verses, double the verses, double the verses. And then goat versus fish was watching American fence ball. And who was there watching American fence ball during the halftime show? Oh, my verses. It's Bad Bunny. It's Bad Bunny. Are you goat or are you fish? And then so Monty Python made it to the Super Bowl. Okay, when's the goat versus fish halftime show? When's the Weird Al halftime show? Weird Al is a fish. Weird Al is a fish. So here in Verse America, the fish keep on blubbing. Here in Verse America, Monty Python has done the Super Bowl halftime show in the form of Bad Bunny, in the form of A cabra contra pez una otra vez. La cabra, la cabra, la cabra. La cabra, la cabra, la cabra. I'm tired of all this sex on the fence. I mean, I keep falling off.
I'd like to see a goat and a fish, bang them together.
It all comes from goat versus fish. It was all derived from goat versus fish. Some say goat versus fish is a sham. Some say goat versus fish is a scam. But I am what I am, what I am, what I am. And some even say, they even say the goat versus fish is just spam. Some say that goat versus fish is just spam. Golden honey ham spam gram spam. The Wicked Awesome Spam-A-Lot Collector's Edition. Goat versus fish found this spam in a trash can somewhere in Chicago during the Spam-A-Lot off-Broadway premiere, and it's been in the possession of Goat versus Fish ever since. And we think it expired, and you probably shouldn't eat it. Best Buy. January 2008. What time is it? Wow, is it already 12:30? It's later than we thought. Spam, 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 Shut up! Shut up. But now Goat vs. Fish has come in possession of even another versus. And that versus goes like this.
Are you goat or are you fish? Do not sit upon the fence. Are you goat or are you fish? Do not sit upon the fence.
What could it be? What could it be? Why, it's... Monty Python Spamalot, flattened and in circular disc form. It's Monty Python Spamalot, an LP lovingly ripped off from the hit musical original Broadway classical cast recording 20th anniversary edition. You've got Grail, first time on vinyl, pressed in Holy Grail gold. Now it says here, an LP lovingly ripped off from the hit musical original Broadway cast recording. But we think lovingly ripped off. Didn't you already use that on your consensual, non-contractual obligation album or some such verses? Or maybe it was your previous record. Lovingly ripped off, but you fail to say that Monty Python was lovingly ripped off of Goat vs. Fish. Monty Python ripped off Goat vs. Fish, you snakety snake, you. Just like Mom Donnie, who claims to be a golden snake at that press junket. Or Monty Python, are you goat or are you fish? You ripped off Goat vs. Fish, and Goat vs. Fish demands compensation. I'd like to register a complaint that the previous verses was actually just a re-verses of the previous verses and was not at all original content. I pay a lot of American dollars to watch my Goat vs. Fish, and I'm tired of seeing it being wasted on rubbish. Yours sincerely, Goat vs. Fish the Goatfish, the one true verses of Goat vs. Fish. Lovingly ripped off. Well, why don't we rip this off and see what this versus is all about? Well, you can just speed through this part here where we're trying to lovingly. We want to lovingly rip it off. We want to lovingly rip it off. Okay, so we're just going to take our verses. Lovingly. Lovingly, we're going to lovingly rip it off. We're going to lovingly rip it off. We're going to lovingly rip it off. Okay, we lovingly ripped it off. And so here we open the verses. And wow, look! Well, would you look at that? Would you look at that? Why, if Goat vs. Fish weren't the one true verses of Goat vs. Fish, which we absolutely are, why, look at that. Any one of them could be Goat vs. Fish, especially you, Arthur King. Have you not heard the one true verses of Chèvre contre Poisson? Chèvre contre Poisson! It's clearly Goat vs. Fish. It was Goat vs. Fish in that verses. It was Goat vs. Fish in that verses. It's always been Goat vs. Fish. It's all just been Goat vs. Fish. And you can see it clearly there. Again, that it was Goat vs. Fish. And oh, my verses. What, they want us to read all of this? Look at these fence sitters. Look at these fence sitters. They're like, oh, I'm too scared to choose Goat or Fish. Like, sacré fence, chèvre contre poisson. That sounds refentuous. That sounds refentuous. A flying circus. Now that's something that is classic comedy, but Goat vs. Fish, that is ridiculous and stupid and should not be taken seriously. It's amazing. It's amazing. Just because you get used to sitting on a fence, just because you get used to sitting on a fence and you think that pythons and flying circuses are totally normal and actually funny, and then they look at Goat vs. Fish, and then they look at Goat vs. Fish and they say, you don't belong in the Los Angeles comedy scene, Goat vs. Fish. All you do is say Goat vs. Fish over and over and over again. It's not even a real joke. Oh, but Monty Python, Flying Circus, that's a classic versus. That's a classic versus. It's very offensive to Goat versus Fish. So, okay, so we've got before and after versus, and we've got Goat and Fish versus. But we know what we really want to see in here. We want to see that sweet golden. We want to see that sweet golden disc. We want to see that sweet golden disc. We want to see that sweet golden
There is nothing quite as beautiful as verses.
So is this it? Is this what all the fence is about? Is this what all the fence is about? Is this what all the fence is about? Well, it just looks like it goes around and around forever, and it doesn't stop making noises. Or does it? We can't hear anything. Hello? Hello? Will you play, please? Act 1, Side A. Act 1, Side B. Very boring, very typical. Where's your avant-garde chèvre contrepoisson now? Act 1, Side B. Act 1, Side A. The Monty Python's flying verses that Goat versus Fish knew wouldn't have such basic verses like that. You would be like, oh, this side is actually side D, and actually this record isn't really a record. Actually, this record is a tape cassette that we repurposed into a DVD that we then put through a meat grinder. And now you're hearing the recording, and now used to be such a celebration. Monty Python spam lot. You've sold out, Monty Python. You've sold out. We're looking at you, Eric Idle. You've sold out. Meanwhile, Goat versus Fish is doing totally original content for at least $10. But oh, my verses. You've gone mainstream, and as long as you're going mainstream, Monty Python, then you might as well choose Fish. If you're going mainstream, you might as well choose Fish. You might as well just choose Fish in that verses. You might as well choose Fish. I'm not done with you yet. And that's all you do, isn't it? Monty Python, that's all you do. All you do is you do the same verses again and again and again and again and again, and then you rip off the old verses, and then you repurpose the new verses, and then you do the same verses, and you do the same verses again and 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 again, and Goat versus Fish, 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 and it's all just Goat versus Fish again and again. It's Goat versus Fish, but it's not a goat and a fish, but it is a goat and it's a python. So you just keep reversing the same verses over and over and over again until you finally say, well, why don't we just reenact the whole thing again? Why don't we just reenact Monty Python again and again and again, and we'll just keep reenacting it over and over and over again? Oh, let's pretend to read Monty Python skits. Let's pretend that I'm Monty Python. Purpose. Your strength of character, force of will, sense of divine destiny, and for some your belief in gods are what give you purpose. Your purpose is to choose goat or fish, Monty Python. And it was written, Monty Python, are you goat or are you fish? Are you goat or are you fish? We've seen the feet. But the award-winning feat of Goat versus Fish, with which you cannot compete. You can't compete with the award-winning feat of Goat versus Fish. And we're going to show you. We're going to show you. We're going to show you Monty Python. You know what we think? You know what we think of your derivative verses? You know what we think? You know what we think of your derivative verses? You know what we think? What we think? What we think of how you ripped off Goat versus Fish? Of how you ripped off Goat versus Fish? You deserve versus nothing less, Monty Python. You deserve versus nothing less from Goat versus Fish. You deserve versus nothing less from Goat versus Fish. Monty Python, are you goat or are you fish?